There is this incredible unexplored universe where the people who live with motor impairments, they don't really have so many accessibility features and meaningful tools. I started exploring how the artists create their own visual works with digital technology. But there's a big gap between what the computer inputs are and the way that they have to find workarounds. From there, I started creating wearable prototypes to emulate a keyboard. So that way, when they are drawing, it's not the artist learning a new technology, but actually this new technology is learning from the artist.
现在成为一个全职插画师的话，我要感谢我这个病，它是一个契机，因为没有办法正常出门上班了嘛。当时是有在家继续给人当乙方的，我就有去思考我自己真正想要的是什么。我不希望我身体变差以后情绪也不能自己控制，因为身体这个东西是没有办法自己控制，但是我的生活是可以自己掌握的。所以我其实很感谢这个病，它让我进行了选择。
To me, making art has always been almost second nature. I feel being a creative is a part of me, but digital art has been something I've gravitated towards for most of my adult life since I was a teenager because I am chronically ill and I've spent a lot of my time in bed. Because of that, I needed to find ways to adapt and make art possible for me has been kind of a journey my whole life.
因为我很小的时候呢，就已经诊断出来是一个成骨不全症患者，所以家人觉得我最好是待在那里不要动，就是画画是最安全的。所以我的父母给我买了一些画笔，然后我就开始画画。然后久而久之呢，我也是喜欢上画画了。我觉得我为什么会做一个艺术创作者，或者说内容创作者，最主要原因就是我享受那个从零到一、从无到有的一个过程。我去创造一个世界，创造一个意境，有一种主宰一个小天地的一种感觉。
To be an independent artist, it's a very free-form experience. I guess it's a learning experience at the time because I didn't go through like art school curriculum and to being taught very informal rules. So for me, it's been kind of like learning from scratch and sort of a lot of it is defining your own rules, but because of that, it's also extremely dependent on the connections you make.
虽然从30多岁开始学画画可能会有点晚吧，但是我觉得我的人生还挺长的，就未来可能还有好多年的路要走。
Working with these artists, I really see the passion, and then they're also very enthusiastic about this project. They want to also help with other artists with motor impairments, specifically for the upper limb, to create more freely. They've been very actively giving their feedback and what they think the project or assistive technology could be improved.
Describe what I do in short, it is to train the model to recognize the specific data patterns associated with each movement. We use sensors to record movements from each participant. Since the sensors just output a raw stream of numbers every second, the model has to learn that this specific pattern means, for example, leaning left, and that pattern means sitting still. It is about teaching the machine to see the shape within the numbers.
For my part in the project, I'm focused purely on just the physical form. From the start, I knew that a wide range of responses I'll get from different people. They'll have expectations and also perspectives on what's comfortable for them, what feels good to use, and also how useful certain components of it are.
We use Edge Impulse. It is a highly accessible platform that streamlines deploying machine learning onto tiny devices. It allows us to build a processing pipeline easier by using blocks provided. I used some DSP modules like FFT to extract features from data we split from raw signals, and then feed them into a classifier to train the model. The hardest part in this process is the cycle of testing and iteration. We have to fine-tune the model bit by bit to find a delicate balance. We also need it to be accurate but not overfitted. If the model is too sensitive, it reacts to noise. If it's too rigid, it misses the gesture. And sometimes tweaking code parameters is not enough because the data gathered may not be sufficient for the model to recognize the dynamic patterns. As a result, we also need to spend some time communicating with the artists to collect feather samples that reflect their actual habits.
This assistive tool supports my creative process because I have used it a lot. I've been pretty sick in these past few weeks, needing to be laying down in bed a lot. I use it on my hand, and needing to use keyboard shortcuts is very difficult when you're needing to lay down a lot. So being able to just tilt my hand to do undo has saved me a lot of effort.
I am often throughout the years searching for different creative workflows that work for me, and because of my limitations through my disability, that's interconnected to the things that work for me are things that I can access. For instance, because I use a stylus on my phone, that has a big impact on the tools I access on my phone and on an iPad. It's a lot different than somebody who uses their fingers or multiple fingers to use a painting program on an app. And like, even just the angle of my hand, how I can reach things, how I touch the screen with the stylus. I mean, that very much affects what works for me or what doesn't work for me.
I was requested to make a version that would be able to attach to like a stylus. For me, that was like just kind of easiest way to start. The pen, I was told, an old Wacom pen, and so I used that, to become the starting basis for the project. I did a lot of research for the design. Yeah, it was like a lot of searching of like how products on the market now kind of address these issues.
I think that really surprised me a lot, and that kind of energy stays with me during the whole process of the interview.
During this process, I realized that understanding a user's specific needs, regardless of ability, and maintaining that constant communication is just as important as the algorithm itself.
It really helps me to understand how each design step could affect different group of people. For most of us, everything seems to be convenient in a way that we don't realize how a small thing that we're so used to could be not convenient for a certain group of people because of their conditions or their special needs.
Well, to me, good design serves its purpose. In this case, we're considering a product that is meant to help people with disabilities. That should be the first thought, like the first priority in the design.
其实我觉得最大的意义就是有去思考，就是加深了这个思考点，就是包括画画这件事情，它不是只在现在去做，就现在可能不一定需要一个结果，都是在为未来服务。
同时呢，我参与这个项目也非常有价值感，因为我觉得我的一点点小小的一点参与吧，如果能帮助到更多的残障艺术家，更多的残障艺术创作者，我会认为我参与一项非常伟大的工作。
Creating art is a way of expressing myself. It always has been, and being able to create more freely and having the ability to create more easily would be wonderful, and sharing that with more people would be amazing.
所以画画对我而言，它是一种抒发情绪以及自我救赎的一个事情，很治愈。
The art exists in multi dimensions, so there's the dimension between just the artwork and the artist. And then once the artwork is shared, a whole different dimension comes up. And that's the dimension between every other viewer of the art. So they create a whole different value and meaning of the artwork that the creator of the artwork is separate from.
I think that is a paradigm shift. Instead of you are not normal, you are different abled, flip the table around and say, hey, what kind of movements do you want to do? What kind of functions are you interested in using to draw? And from there, the technology can actually be very adaptive. There's new technology all the time, and people are talking about like generative AI and all these things that I don't think they're going to have a very positive impact in the world we have. And that's an exciting opportunity to get these new emerging technologies and use them for something that is really meaningful.